Слава Україні, друзі! Радий вітати на каналі. Так, сьогодні продовжуємо Hogwarts Legacy. Всім дякую за коменти, за вподобайки, за перегляди. Ще хочу таке сказати, я не можу поставити українізатор. У мене піратка. Зараз в мене немає змоги купувати ігри, так як маленька дитина, і всі кошти йдуть на дитину. Так що в ближайший час я ігор купляти ніяких точно не буду. Тому граю піратку. І українізатор поставити я не можу. Бо там, бачу, заходять такі експерти диванні, починають там херню всяку писати, в якого, що типу, фу, блядь, крінж, граєш там з руськими субтитрами, типу, блядь, таке, а в самого назви стрімів на російській. Так що, перш ніж перед тим когось як обісрати, щось там сказати, подивитися на себе в першу чергу. Так, добре. Такі долбойоби були і будуть. Ніде ми від них не дінемось. Так що, погнали. А якщо в кого є велике бажання подарувати мені Hogwarts Legacy, ссылочка є в описі на мій Steam, буду дуже радий і вдячний. Нам потрібно знайти що? Знайти свою гостину. Це знизу чи зверху? Я щось не розумію. Ой-ой. Всі книги порозвалював. Ну добре, давай підемо на низ. Можливо, це правильно? А можливо, ні. Зайшли в чиюсь кімнату. Ні, стрілка показує нам нагору, да? Ага, все. Каже, чути якісь голоси. Можливо, нам потрібно йти. Блін, тут якісь кімнати. Я не можу знайти, куди нам іти. А, ось тут, в принципі, показує, куди нам іти. Йо-майо. Що я так туплю? Що я так страшно туплю? Замок першого рівню. Значить, тут ще замки зможемо взламувати. Так, це нам з вчителями треба познайомитись. А ні.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's not a complicated spell. I should be able to do it non-verbally. Why is this not working? Ugh! Oh, hello there. Welcome to Gryffindor. I'm Cressida.
Pleasure to meet you, Cressida.
Splendidly theatrical arrival to the sorting ceremony last evening. Made it in by the skin of your teeth. Is it true that you're Professor Fig's protege?
Професор Фіг? Фіг, ну, він мене навчав.
I'm not sure I'd say that, but I did study with him a little before we arrived.
Blast! I was hoping he might have given you some advice on non-verbal casting.
Is that what you were trying to do just there?
Oh, yes. Having a spot of trouble. I've mastered the charm using its incantation, but this is proving a bit trickier.
Так. Каже, коли я вимовляю закляття, все виходить відмінно, а ось без слів нічого не виходить. Давай скажемо, що їй потрібна
A
практика.
little more practice ought to do it.
I practiced all summer. I can cast spells more complicated than this one without speaking. What's so difficult about this one? I'm just going to keep at it.
Так.
Is it really that difficult to cast non-verbally?
Oh, yes. And if you don't get it just right, the results can be, shall we say, awkward. Once, I tried to cast Depulso non-verbally on a goblet in the Great Hall and ended up launching Professor Sharp's Yorkshire pudding into his face. He was not happy.
Так, давай запитаємо, чи всі учні чаклують без слів.
Most students know how to cast non-verbally.
Not at all. Hogwarts doesn't teach non-verbal casting until the 6th year. And even then, many struggle with it. I'm simply trying to get ahead of the game.
Так, давай
Well, good luck
успіхів.
with it. It was nice to meet you, Cressida.
You as well. Enjoy your first day.
Каже, заклинання без слів починають вивчати лише на 6-му курсі, але ця дівчина захотіла, типу, розпочати раніше практикуватися. Це що за хер?
Sure you don't want to try it? Brewed it myself. Hello, you're the new 5th year. Pleased to meet you. I'm Gareth Weasley. Heard about your travels here. Can't believe it. Glad you and Fig are all right. Is it true that someone from the Ministry was with you in the carriage?
Oh, yes. A friend of Professor Fig's.
Oh, didn't mean to pry. Nasty business, dragons. Again, very glad you're here.
Thank you, Gareth. So am I. Are you related to Professor Weasley?
I am. She's my aunt.
Так, коротше, якась вчителька його мама.
Does having your aunt here make things difficult?
More than you'd think. Most people assume I can't get into trouble or be given detention. But they're wrong. Aunt Matilda tends to treat me as if I'm a first year, keeps too close an eye on me. It's all a bit suffocating, to be honest. Still, she means well, and she's an incredibly powerful witch. She'll have your back.
Так, що там в тебе в кружці?
Are you having butterbeer for breakfast?
Oh no. I've been perfecting a recipe I came up with over the summer. I'm almost there, based on some reactions that may need a bit more work.
Так, в тебе до зілля варення талант?
Seems you enjoy brewing. Might I assume that you've a talent for potions of all sorts?
Well, as I see it, there's little difference, fundamentally, between brewing a modification to butterbeer and a Wiggenweld potion. Though, I'm not certain Professor Sharp would make the connection. He doesn't appreciate my, creativity as much as you might think.
Так, добре
Well, it was
тоді,
nice
давай,
meeting you,
друже.
Gareth, and thank you for the insights on your aunt.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Good luck today.
І ще в нас залишається третій хер. Ходить там, бля. Як нам до нього добратись? Злазь звідти, чи то вона?
Nelly, please get down. A professor could arrive any Nelly will do anything for a thrill.
А як нам туди добратися до неї?
I don't want to get in trouble the first day. Shame you weren't born with wings.
Може яблуком кинути?
Sure you used them.
Ні, він просто бере і жире яблуко.
I wish we didn't. If I get caught, I shan't defend you. I'm not the least bit comfortable with it.
Nelly will do anything for attention.
А, все.
Why is everyone so highly strung? It's perfectly safe. Well, hello. Don't mind me. I find it helpful to change my point of view now and again. put things in perspective. Once I made it to the top of Gryffindor Tower, from the outside, without a broom.
Goodness.
I'm Nellie, by the way. Nellie Ogspire. I've heard rumors about what happened to you on your way to Hogwarts. Is it true? About the dragon?
Так, вона запитує нас. Да, це правда про дракона. Вона запитує про дракона, якого ми бачили по дорозі сюди.
Yes, our carriage was attacked by a dragon.
Crikey! I can't believe it. How thrilling! And also terrifying. Anyway, you've certainly brought some much-needed excitement to Gryffindor. And Hogwarts, for that matter.
Так, запитаємо, що там говорять про наш приїзд.
What exactly are the rumors about my journey to Hogwarts?
That you escaped a dragon attack? Isn't that enough? Most of us arrive via train or boat, not having just escaped the jaws of a dragon. Of course it's got people talking. Word travels fast at Hogwarts.
Так, добре, каже, що всі просто сюди прибули, хто на потязі, хто на човні. Тому там ніхто не втікав від дракона і така всяка фігня.
I take it you're not afraid of heights.
It's something I've always done, since I was little. My mother once found me on the roof when I was 5. Still has no idea how I got there. But with all the strange hallways and rooms in the castle, and everything lurking in and outside the grounds, you don't need to scale a tower to see something incredible here.
Так, каже, що її знайшли на даху будинку, вона сама не знає, як вона туди потрапила. Висота їй не страшна, але в замку є багато незвичайних залів і коридорів, і на території багато вводиться, коротше, сутностей. Так, ти коли-небудь бачила
I
дракона?
imagine most students have never seen a dragon. Have you?
Goodness, no. And I've never heard of one attacking a carriage like that. Not enough meat in a carriage, I'd think.
Так, давай тоді, добре. Радий був
I'm sure I'll
знайомству.
be seeing you around, either in our common room or when you scale your next tower.
You never know. Bye for now.
New Gryffindor. Professor Weasley's waiting for you outside the common room.
Так, зустрітися з професором.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
Так, якусь книгу нам дала.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Опа, раз і зникло під руку.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
Так, це, коротше, якийсь
This
це.
way. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate
Коротше,
yourself about
інструкція.
wizarding lore. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. Do keep up.
Коротше, в цій інструкції ми зможемо багато чого вивчити магію, почати вивчати.
Simply cast Revelio on it, and we'll see what the guide says.
Ну. А як мені її зібрати? Каже, зберіть сторінку. А як мені її зібрати?
Revelio.
Ага, во. Поняв. Так, зрозумів. Так, це наш рівень магії. Досвід, отримавши є в результаті проходження випробування, піднімає ваш рівень і силу. Так, меню. Так, добре. Коротше, нам треба зібрати 2 сторінки.
Clever, isn't it?
А я не розумію, а
Keep
як
your
воно
eyes open for more
відкривається?
opportunities.
А на М, так? N. На N відкривається, добре. Тут що таке? Одна із 150. Ну, блін, тут всякої фігні повно. Треба буде без цього подивитися. Так, зовнішній вигляд. Нагороду нам дадуть зовнішній вигляд. Які... А, чекай. Ще не все. Тут ще щось є в нас. Завдання. Ну так, ми його виконуємо. Ласкаво просимо в Hogwarts. Ми його якраз і виконуємо, це завдання.
No time to waste. You've classes to attend.
Ні, ну прикольно, блін. Прикольно. Так, тут якась скриня, можемо ми її відкрити? Можемо. І... Ми її відкрили, але толку ніякого з неї. На жаль.
Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Ага. Поняв. Це, коротше, швидке переміщення. Ми можемо в будь-яку точку переміститися дуже швидко. Так. І що, ми можемо сюди переміститись? А, це показує, де є ці точки, да? О, ми вже перемістились.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall.
Да.
You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly.
Але зазвичай я не дуже люблю користуватися швидкими переміщеннями, але так, якщо...
Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Так, а ну розкажіть нам про уроки заклять.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Так, що таке захист від темного іскусства?
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of defense against the dark arts is required for those who aspire to become auras. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Heckert in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
Так, добре.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you.
Так, коротше, він нам має зараз розказати, як користуватися
use
мапою.
your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't
Так,
get
вона
you
нас
the
просить зайти
Hogwarts
після
Legacy
уроків, вона
Проходження.
нам розкаже про додаткові завдання. Добре. Так, поговорити з професором Фігом.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Так. Відкрити журнал завдань. Так, це значки, коротше, основних завдань. Так, вибрали
The map is
завдання і погнали.
enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Так, добре, ми вибрали завдання, давай погнали. Погнали по завданню. Так, нам... Ясно. З цим розібралися. Нам потрібно відправитися в клас заклять. Заклинань. Отак. Це, походу, наш буде перший урок.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson.
Так, розпочати, да? Розпочинаємо урок. Наш перший урок в Хогвартсі.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin?
welcome to year 5 of charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with a passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? Hmm? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Так, коротше, якесь нове заклинання. Блін, чуть-чуть не хватило. Я отут просрав. А що воно? Блін, а що воно не це? А, все, є. Я зрозумів. Там просто стрілочка показує нам куди.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
Це вже все? Урок закінчено? А ні, ще десь нас виводять на прогулку.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right?
Ну, ніфіга собі.
So why don't we have our newest students start us off?
Так,
Very
добре.
simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm. That's it! Stay. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. Splendid! Happens to the best of us. Excellent. Not to worry.
Не поняв,
Very
якщо не
good.
так
Points to
зроблено.
Gryffindor. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up.
Що нам треба
You'll be
зробити?
the blues just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Misha,
А я чого не можу?
there we go.
А, має Блін.
Lose your composure.
Let us see this.
Має, типу, зупинитися, я поняв. Має зупинитись, на якому зупиниться, типу, стільки очок бути. Все одно я тут просрав, це однозначно.
Well done.
Да. А ще раз не можна? Я просто не
Let us make
зрозумів.
this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it.
Так, коротше, ще будуть рухатися блоки. Давай. І що, вона ще й на 50, та? А ні.
That is how it's done.
Блін,
Happens to the best
треба
of
було
us.
відпустити. Ай, блядь. Я, коротше, знов затупив. Знов затупив. Ну, на 30 вона, да?
There we go.
Да. Ой, блін. Вообще парашно.
Oh, that was an
10
execution.
чи 20?
Here we
20.
go.
А, в неї 30, то так що ще можна перемогти. Якщо зараз я на 50 потягну. Ні,
Very
теж
good.
на 30. А, мого шара теж збило це. Ну, блін, просрали.
Very good, both
Нічого
of you.
не
Well
зробиш.
done.
Просрали цей раунд. Я затупив і не зрозумів, як воно це треба було прочитати правила гри, а тоді. Ну
Class
ладно.
is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Так, перший урок
Well
закінчено.
done back there. You took the loss in stride. Didn't want to go too easy on you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
Так, ну я справлюсь.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive, not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn
Так,
about
да.
another wizarding school.
Вона нам
Thank you
розказала
for
про
asking.
ще одну школу
I do miss
магії,
forgetting,
саму
but I am glad to
більшу.
be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Так, добре. Йдемо
Can you
поговоримо
back
з
you on
професором.
word, if you would.
If you're so inclined.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? Miss Onai is a talented witch. Take it in stride. One often gains the most from the battles one has lost.
Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Так, коротше, додаткові завдання. Нам будуть давати додаткові завдання. О, другий рівень. Другий рівень. Давай відкриємо мапу. Так, нам додаткові завдання доступні. Все, погнали. А, ми можемо сюди швидким переміщенням відправитись. Давай. Може звідти буде ближче. Там, де можна швидким переміщенням, будемо користуватися ним. Щоб не бігати, не бродити. Потім ще розберемося з тими додатковими завданнями. А отак я не можу спригнути туди вниз? Ні. Лише треба по сходах спускатися, да?
Just when I think I've learned how to get around.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Так, ще один урок. Захист від...
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the
Блін,
wise,
круто.
age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Так. Ну все, я вже поняв, як ми вивчили з першого разу. Вивчили з першого разу.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
О, стара дає.
Let us begin with the basic cast.
Ну, я нажав. Ну що?
See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprise... Good. Now, the basic cast. Well done.
Так, поняв.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso.
Так, ну давай постараємось тут не
You
просрати.
may begin.
This should be lucky.
Nothing lucky about it.
Must be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
If only all of my students were this adept. I do enjoy a lively duel.
Все? Ми виграли,
Not
да?
bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
Прикольно.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Gryffindor.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments.
Ну, нормально.
All
Один
right.
урок.
That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is
Один урок
dismissed.
завалили, другий нормально.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
Так, ні, це моя
In
перша
fact,
дуель.
it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Так, дуельний, ну, нормально.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you.
Коротше,
Sure, I'll
якийсь
see you soon.
заборонений
Perhaps
дуельний
somewhere
клуб.
unsanctioned?
Чи
We'll see if your
дуелянтський, як
performance today
правильно.
was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Так, добре. Так, завдання виконали.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things
Тут
friendly.
показує, що десь скриня повинна бути, але я її ніде не бачу. Чи це можливо на другому поверсі? Так. Журнал завдань. А, ось це. Так. Додаткові завдання. Так, ну пішли тоді на те додаткове завдання. Трошки повиконували цих.
What are you up to now?
Відкриваємо мапу. Давай, може, ми зможемо скористуватися швидким переміщенням. Десь тут є щось поблизу. Ось тут є, да? Давай сюди перемістимось. Йдемо, подивимося те додаткове завдання, яке для нас приготували. Ой, я щось трохи не туди пішов. Так, ще знайшли одне швидке переміщення. Тут показує, що тут десь скриня, але тут ніфіга немає. Котик-муркотик. А, все, погладив. Погладив він тому кінець, так?
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing.
Та що за піздюк?
Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Так, мені здається, по дорозі відбулося набагато більше, ніж те, що ви хочете розповідати. Я не права, ні, професора.
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
Коротше, нам будуть
In
давати
fact,
додаткові
Professor
завдання,
Ronan
щоб
will
ми
meet you
швидше
outside
вчилися.
momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
Так.
I'm
Так,
eager to
добре.
get to Hogsmeade.
Very
Йдемо.
well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
I'd like to go with Natty.
Excellent choice. Miss Onai is one of our most talented students. And she knows the area. She'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Так, добре. А, це завдання виконано. Так, відкрити журнал. Якесь у нас нове завдання. Угу. Я зрозумів. Добре, друзі, на цьому буду закінчувати. Всім дякую за перегляди, за активність. В наступній серії продовжимо, подивимося, що там за завдання. Всім добра, все буде Україна!